Arsenal are back on track after smashing Brighton 2-0. Mikel Arteta's game plan was different. So from Arsenal's new look central midfield to the evolution of Gabriel and Martinelli and the big news regarding a new potential signing. As per, let's break it all down and discuss the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 2, Brighton 0. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Braz14, welcome back to your boys channel, and I know you guys are sensational because Arsenal are once again top of the league. So as per, smash a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you are new. But starting off with Mikel Arteta's aggressive game plan. There was something intriguing about Mikel's body language. Very animated on touchline and so emotional. Here he was receiving a yellow card in the first half, after he was seen waving at the referee to wake up. After the game, Mikel said that he was actually waving at Martinelli, before quickly shooting away. There was a clear reason behind Mikel's emotion. It all comes down to history. In beating Arsenal 3-0 at the Emirates last year, a 2-1 defeat a year before that, and a 3-1 defeat in the Carabao Cup, it was time to teach the Eagles a lesson, as Arsenal became the first side in 32 league games to stop Brighton from scoring, with Arsenal making a massive 2.49 XG and holding Brighton to only 0.73. It all comes down to Arsenal's pressing. Realising that Brighton are a very good team in the build-up, it was time to suffocate them, with the stats showing that Arsenal made 11 turnovers in this game, winning the ball around the Brighton box time and time again, 3 times able to get away a shot. It all comes down to Mikel Arteta's philosophy, having spoken recently and said that he doesn't want to allow teams to breathe. Arsenal are not a team that wants to have the ball for the sake of it. They want control via final third domination, hence why Arsenal have such high field tilt, with 73% in total in this game, wave after wave of pressure in the first half. There's one play that stood out massively. We're talking Gabriel with a 7.2 rating, with 1 clearance, 1 interception and 1 tackle, 42 accurate passes and 1 accurate long ball. Gabriel's heat map is so interesting because it shows a player that's not playing as a centre back but also entering the Brighton half. Mikel was using Gabriel aggressively. Despite being a centre back time and time again, Gabriel was following the Brighton players into their half, sometimes going as far into their box. Ask yourselves the question, how many times did you even hear the name of Evan Ferguson or Kairo Matoma? Matoma only had 31 touches in this game, the least out of any outfield player to play 90 minutes. Lallana and Ferguson also only had 27, a total of 10 touches less than the Arsenal goalkeeper David Raya. This is where we have to praise Gabriel. Time and time again we are seeing him dominate attackers at a very consistent level. When Arteta was asked after the game on if Gabriel was underrated, Mikel says hopefully not, certainly not in this team or for me. I know his value and what he brings to the team and the love he has for defending, keeping clean sheets and being on it in every single action. What he transmits to the backline is absolutely incredible. We have to focus on the Arsenal man of the match though. The rice was cooking once again, with a 7.2 overall rating and 53 accurate passes, 3 out of 3 long balls, 1 successful dribble, and 3 ground duels won. The fact this guy cost Arsenal £105 million and no one even mentions it, it shows Rice's insane level of quality. This was the perfect game for Rice, one of the cleanest ball winners in the Premier League. Rice is able to win the ball time and time again from behind, barely even giving away a foul. The funniest thing was Rice wasn't even meant to be available. As confirmed here for those wondering, Rice was a big doubt before the game. He was really ill last night but woke up feeling better. Still wasn't 100% but was adamant he wanted to be involved and help the team. He is a proper leader. Rice is reaching a new level of on-the-ball quality, comfortable at rotating with Martin Odegaard time and time again. Focus on his heat map and what you'll notice, he spent more time in the right half space than he did as central midfielder. But what takes him to a different level is his ball carrying. The prime example being in the second half right towards the end of the game, bursting forwards like a prime Yaya Toure. The likes of Rodri couldn't even dream of doing that. Arsenal in this game sent out a statement, bullying a Brighton team like no one else has. The same Brighton that out-XG'd Man City, created 1.43 against Newcastle, 2.32 against Liverpool. Arsenal held them down to 0.73. De Zerbi saying after the game that Arsenal played much better than us. They deserved to win the game, we suffered a lot. I think Arsenal are one of the best, maybe this season the best team in the Premier League. We are not used to suffering in this way. Moving on to the second thing, birthday masterclass. Arsenal's stats in this game were interesting. With only 49% of the possession, 474 passes completed, focused on a 53 final third entries and a 4.8 expected threat created. Arsenal were efficient in this game. Summed up by the birthday boy Martin Odegaard, who says after the game 3 points, the only thing I wanted for my birthday, what a team. On his 25th birthday, Odegaard put up a 7.8 rating, with 74 touches showing that he was integral, 55 passes, 4 key passes, 4 successful dribbles and 4 ground duels won. We're finally seeing a midfielder again. By allowing Odegaard to drop deeper and dictate play, we're seeing confidence levels go through the roof. Summed up by this pass in the first half towards Bukayo Saka. To see the pass is one thing, then to play it around the Brighton player and find Bukayo Saka also should have easily scored. At one point this year, Arsenal was struggling to progress the ball. Now Odegaard is Arteta's solution. With elite pass selection, Odegaard is the master of control, giving each Arsenal attack the perfect amount of speed. It reminds me a bit of a certain Cesc Fabregas. Here was Odegaard in the second half, once again dropping deeper, with freedom to drift to the left hand side and find Eddie Nketiah, who then spots the run of Kai Havertz to give Arsenal the winning goal. Arsenal's midfield is evolving. Alongside Rice, you've now got Zinchenko and Odegaard, allowing Arsenal to break the opposition apart. I want to focus on the positional freedom. The example being in the first half, look at Zinchenko. With Jesus dropping off deeper, Zinchenko sees the space and ends up driving forward into centre forward, with Kai Havertz going into left back. This all falls back to a certain Johan Cruyff, the philosophy of total football, where one player leaves a space the other fills in. Arsenal dragging Brighton apart and opening up space. That's where you had a certain Bukayo Saka who was thriving, with another fantastic 8.1 rating, with 63 touches, 3 key passes and 1 big chance created, alongside 6 ground balls won. Focus on the passing networks, where on the left hand side Arsenal are far more compact, on the right Arsenal are spaced out. With Odegaard dropping deeper, there's far less traffic for Bukayo Saka, who is now turning into a creativity machine. With a 0.66 expected assist in this game, Saka now ranks as the highest player in the entire league in terms of overall expected assist. Moving on to the third thing, the surprise scorer. 4 months into the season, Arsenal's attack is finally starting to click. A 2.49 XG in this game. There's a trend developing. 1.58 against Aston Villa, 2.72 against Luton, and 3.16 against Wolves. The XG map in this game shows that Arsenal were consistent, chance after chance with 26 shots in total, the most they've managed all season. There's one player that's integral to everything. We're talking Gabriel Jesus, who as you can see was playing everywhere. A 7.9 rating in total and 1 goal scored, 1 successful dribble, 49 touches, 36 out of 36 passes, 2 key passes and 2 ground balls won. Jesus continues the record of having never lost a Premier League match in which he has scored in. The reason why I love Jesus is unpredictability. By being comfortable in every area of the pitch, he's constantly able to drift, combine with players and cause havoc. Look at the skills in the second half, the way that he flicks around Lewis Dunk. Where football's becoming more and more robotic, Jesus is a throwback. As he said earlier this season, he brings the streets to the pitch. But let's focus on the Arsenal match winner. Kai Havertz scored once again. Here he was before the game alongside Per Mertesacker, receiving Arsenal's November Player of the Month award. Arteta says that Kai once again was top. He's growing in confidence, he feels more secure and you can see it. His performances, the intelligence he shows on the pitch, the aggression and his work rates, it's top. Slowly but surely we are seeing the Kai Havertz of Bayer Leverkusen. Look at his recent form, constant green ratings. In this game it was 7.5. With 1 goal scored, 41 touches, 28 accurate passes and 1 accurate long ball. We need to talk about his finish. Another example of his elite movement with a lovely running behind. A left-footed finisher reminded me of a certain Robin van Persie. The XG shows this was a 0.28 chance, but after taking off the shot, Havertz was able to make it a 0.59 because of the quality of the finish. 4 goals in his last 7 appearances. To put that into context, Havertz has now scored as many goals in his last 7 matches as he had in his previous 40 combined. As Kai says after the game, your confidence always goes high when you score and contribute. That is the same with me. I'm happy and now it's about being consistent with it, regularly week by week, and trying to keep that form going. With 4 goals in the Premier League, Havertz is only 3 goals away from equaling Granit Xhaka's entire goal tally from last season, with 5 overall goal contributions. That's one more than a certain Dominic Szoboszlai. Another example of Mikel Arteta's elite management, trusting in Havertz to find confidence. He's now repaying it in important goals. Gabriel Jesus says after the game that Havertz has bought a lot. We always joke that he won the Champions League against me. Now I want to win one with him. He's an amazing player and the way he played, he's so strong, so tall and quality, fighting every time. On that left hand side is something very important happening. So let's focus on Gabriel Martinelli. In this game, an 8.0 rating, the second highest of any Arsenal player on the day. With a 0.72 expected assist, 3 successful dribbles, 1 big chance missed, 5 key passes and 1 big chance created, as well as 7 ground balls won. Martinelli was the highest Arsenal player in terms of overall expected threat created. What I liked about this game was his movement. As his heat map shows, he was entering the box a lot of times. This being the prime example in the first half. Bukayo Saka in behind, look at Gabriel Martinelli, playing as a centre forward where he could have easily scored. Mikel is trying to find a balance, with Havertz and Martinelli being similar players, based around movement and running in behind. That's where I'm looking at Martin Odegaard. By allowing him to drift the left hand side, he could provide the passing profile to maximise the movement of Gabriel Martinelli. You also can't forget about Eddie Nketiah, coming off the bench to get a 7.2 rating and get an assist, with 3 touches and 3 successful passes. The Arsenal attack has evolved. Where last year it was all about Odegaard, Martinelli and Saka. This year in terms of goal contributions, you've got Eddie Nketiah as second, Havertz in 4th and Rice in 5th. Arsenal are not just sharing goals from their first team, it's the entire squad. Moving on to the 4th thing, the Raya specialty. With Arsenal keeping their 7th clean sheet of the season, the most in the league, it was a 6.9 rating for Raya in goal, making only 1 save all game. 18 accurate passes and 1 accurate long ball. Raya's heat map is definitely interesting because of how much of it is outside the box. Mikel Arteta's idea of a goalkeeper is changing. It's not just about making saves, it's what can you offer on the ball. As the stats show here, so far this year in all of Europe, David Raya is the most aggressive goalkeeper in the entire world. In terms of average distance off his line, Raya excels at a lot of basics, with the highest percentage of crosses stopped in the league. Arsenal's issue is they've also got a quality goalkeeper on the pitch. In terms of big chance save rate in the Premier League this season, Ramsdale still has the highest with 75%. We saw that last year in the games against Spurs away at Anfield. Here's where things get interesting. According to TalkSport, Chelsea are now considering stepping up their interest in Aaron Ramsdale, with Robert Sanchez facing a spell on the sidelines due to a knee injury, with Newcastle also monitoring the situation. Here's where Arteta will have a massive dilemma. Who has got a higher ceiling as a goalkeeper? The more experienced David Raya, or the potential of Aaron Ramsdale? Let's talk about Ben White. In this game, it was a 7.4 rating, with 1 clearance, 1 block shot, 1 tackle and 1 tangible pass. White has clearly been struggling, having been caught out time and time again in the past few games. This comes down to injury, as a reliable team losing ticks confirms. Ben White is currently nursing a knock. That is not a surprise whatsoever. Go back all the way to May 2020, as Rob Holding said, Ben White had a grade 2 hamstring tear, yet he still played against Newcastle away. Tomiyasu's out injured and Timber's still far away. Arsenal need to offer Ben White support. Could that come in the form of a signing? Reported target Jeremy Frimpong has been on fire. Now with 7 goals and 9 assists this season, he has got a £40 million release clause, but only starts in 2024. Moving on to the 5th thing, the Fortress. There's something special happening at the Emirates Stadium, with Arsenal unbeaten in their last 13 home matches across all competitions, winning 11 and drawing 2, their longest run under Mikel Arteta, and the longest overall run since December 2018, also 13 games. This was also a game after a Champions League night, where Arsenal have now won 5 out of their 6 games. That shows Arteta is using the squad correctly, which is going to be very important going into the knockout stages, where Arsenal have drawn FC Porto, the first leg to be played in Portugal, the second at the Emirates. Let's focus on the Premier League. The stats are very impressive. Arsenal have the best XG difference in the league now, with 18.5. But what's happening in terms of the title race? Well, Man City dropped some massive points as they were 2-0 up against Crystal Palace, yet somehow drew 2-2, with Roy Keane saying after the game, if City do slip up and don't win the league, then for me it's Arsenal. Rice has come in, added some physicality. I'd be pointing towards Arsenal. But then you've got Liverpool, who also dropped points, drawing 0-0 to mid-table Manchester United. Here's how the table stands now. Arsenal returns top of the league, 1 point clear of Liverpool and 5 points clear of City. Anfield away is next, and that's going to be difficult. But I still believe Man City are Arsenal's biggest competitors. Not only do they have Pep Guardiola, but don't forget the return of a certain Kevin De Bruyne. Talking of returns though, what's happening with Thomas Partey, whose agent recently posted a video showing his recovery, as he nears a return to the Arsenal first team. We're also nearing the start of the January transfer window. According to Elliot Richardson, I think Arsenal will definitely sign a striker in January. The club are going for it, with other reports claiming that Arsenal are pushing to sign Brentford striker Ivan Toney on loan. This deal makes sense in terms of the player, with Fabrizio Romano confirming that Toney is set to be excited about the possibility of joining Arsenal. But how does it make sense for Brentford, who have not had Toney all season and will now be without their other striker Brian Mbeumo, out with an ankle injury for a total of 12 weeks. Arsenal have a lot of targets, and according to reports, Arsenal believe that Victor Osimhen will join them in the summer, with Napoli interested in Gabriel Jesus. Osimhen's release clause is £103 million, but has mechanisms in place that could increase that to 115. What would you guys prefer for Arsenal to do? Sign an Ivan Toney profile in January, or wait until the summer for a certain Victor Osimhen? That is the video there and there though, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down in the description. But that was the 5 things we learned from Arsenal to Brighton 0, another massive victory. Arsenal are once again top of the league, the window is around the corner and things are getting interesting. So I will see you very soon. Take care and live it.